All right, Mr. Adhil Shetty, co-chair, FICCI FinTech Committee and co-founder and CEO of bankbazaar.com. Mr. Shetty, again, three big takeaways from the budget.
So I think for the common man, there was a change on the TCS side. So if you've been sending money for your child's education or for tourism or for medical purposes, I think the monetary change was there was a change of 5% to 2% in the TCS rate. Essentially, what that means for someone sending 20 lakhs on education is there's 40,000 less in TCS, which I think is positive. We'll look at the fine print as it comes out. I was very excited also on the digital infrastructure push. We've talked about over 12 lakh crores for physical infra, but it was good to see that they're really pushing on data centers. So there's a tax holiday for multinationals setting up data center services in India. And this is important because for most startups in India, most digital companies in India, the cloud data center service is 80% of their infrastructure cost. So the two things will happen. The cost will come down and the data will be stored in India, which is AI data sovereignty. She spoke about AI app. She spoke about a Bharat Vitsal app for farmers, no less. Farmers to use AI in their work. So I was excited to hear all these things.
Right, particularly the banking sector. What do you make of this sustained change, reviewing the banking sector under Vikasit Bharat is what the government calls it, the finance minister said, to bolster growth in terms of technology and the last mile reach for the banking services, the NBFCs that are required, that are mandatory to build the entrepreneurial ecosystem in the country.
Yeah, we feel this banking committee creation is quite exciting. We'll need to see the scope and what the banking committee is looking at. But I'll tell you why it's exciting. So banking is one of these areas where 98% of Indian villages and towns have been covered. We've really invested deeply in technology, and I'd say the AI wave is deeply, deeply impacting financial services in India. But there's a lot we can do in terms of easing the cost of doing banking, in terms of easing the access to innovation. So I think the banking committee hopefully will look at how does India become a technology leader in financial services. We've made big strides in video KYC, but how do we take it to the next level with agentless video KYC? We've made big strides in Aadhaar, but how do we do the same thing with DigiLocker? How do we do the same thing with account aggregator? So I think there's an incredible amount of innovation possible in banking, which will both take the cost down and will make services accessible to the common person. And this banking committee, when it's formed, right, I'm sure it's going to have very experienced thinkers who will help set an agenda for innovation in banking in India.
Right, and also, the custom duty waiver on in a number of industries and sectors. Whether we talk about the aviation industry, which is growing at a breakneck speed in our country currently. When we talk about the waivers that have been given in nuclear power imports, also, the key disease drugs where custom duties have been completely waived off. What does this indicate?
I think this indicates that India is taking a mature, sophisticated approach to global trade, right? At a time wherein I think the US has ratcheted up a tariff war globally. And there was a really good, piece that the economist Dr. Panagria from Columbia had written, saying we should use this opportunity to cut customs tariff and to allow our industries to grow faster with access to the best quality raw material. So I think India is being mature. We're not knee-jerking. We're trying to see what do we need, right? Let's take nuclear energy as an example. So if India is going to become a global hub for data centers for AI, we're going to need energy, right? And there's no point burning more coal to drive that energy. Today, 50% of data center energy consumption is green energy. So we need more nuclear energy, we need more solar energy, we need more wind energy. And I think it's good that for the sectors we need to grow, we're being very mature, and unlike some other countries which are fighting a trade war, we're approaching it with a mature, sophisticated mindset.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Adhil Shetty, for joining us.